Millions of Americans took to the streets over the weekend for the No Kings protest.
Protesting what many called an abuse of power by President Trump, which accuses the president of behaving more like a monarch than an elected official.
The No Kings protest saw millions of Americans from coast to coast attend rallies.
It was an almost unimaginable number, more than 5 million Americans.
Organizers say more than 7 million people took part across all 50 states.
Republicans said the protests were nothing more than hate America rallies.
For an American president who likes to think of himself as popular with voters, today must have come as quite a shock.
We do not need a king.
This is a democracy. Donald Trump was elected to be our president.
The message is no kings. It's really important that our government represents all of us.
No kings, no monarchy, democracy only.
I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great, that's all.
In a country that was born by rebelling against a king, today millions of citizens are shouting the same words once again.
No kings! No kings! No kings!
No kings!
No kings in America. But this time, the rebellion isn't against a crown. It's against their own government. The No Kings movement was born in June 2025 in response to what its organizers describe as authoritarian drift under Donald Trump's administration. What began as a lone slogan on social media has evolved into a political and cultural movement that's unleashed debates, protests, and a political earthquake in Washington. Its motto is clear: no kings since 1776. But what's really behind this wave of discontent? If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, do it now, so we can continue bringing you in-depth coverage of breaking stories worldwide. It all began with what critics called the coronation, the military parade Trump organized on June 14, 2025, marking both the U.S. Army's 250-year anniversary and his own birthday. What some saw as a patriotic tribute, others viewed as an attempt to project himself as an absolute ruler. The No Kings movement responded with one of the largest protests of the century. Over 5 million people took to the streets across all 50 states and more than 20 countries. But what happened on October 18th and 19th went even further. Over 2,700 protests nationwide, with an estimated 7 million participants. Yes, 7 million. Nearly 5% of the voters from the last presidential election. But this is not just another protest. It's a nationwide, decentralized, progressive movement backed by more than 200 organizations. Its strength lies in diversity. Workers, students, veterans, immigrants, and entire families.
Law and order. With fingers.
No kings!
Protecting our nation.
The images were so striking, they even eclipsed international coverage of the shutdown. And while most events remained peaceful, the message was explosive. America is tired of authoritarianism. The movement draws inspiration from the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. and the 3.5% rule proposed by political scientist Erica Chenoweth. The idea that any nonviolent campaign mobilizing 3.5% of a population can bring down a regime. No Kings is already close to that number. The White House reacted immediately. Trump dismissed the marches as very small and ineffective during an interview with Fox Business. On social media, he even shared an AI-generated video depicting himself wearing a crown, piloting a jet, and throwing mud at protesters. A clip many have labeled immature, inhumane, and mocking the frustration of millions of Americans. Republican Speaker Mike Johnson called the demonstrations hate rallies against America, while Vice President J.D. Vance accused organizers of ties to the radical left. Meanwhile, senators like Bernie Sanders and Raphael Warnock celebrated the protests as a rebirth of the democratic spirit. denouncing the concentration of power in the hands of a few. The same familiar names: Musk, Bezos, the major state contractors. At Languages Unlimited, as a translation company with more than 25 years of experience and thousands of clients not only in the United States but across the world, we've closely analyzed these events. And to us, the most fascinating part isn't the protest itself. It's what it reveals: a deeply polarized nation, a people who no longer trust their government or its institutions, and an entire generation that, instead of giving up, has decided to shout once again the same words their founders did: no kings. Today, amid the crisis, we at Languages Unlimited ask an uncomfortable question. Is the United States still a republic? Or has it become the very empire it once swore never to be? Perhaps the answer doesn't lie in Washington, but in the streets, where millions are reminding those in power of something many seem to have forgotten. That in America, there are no kings. Share your thoughts with us, and we'll see you in our next analysis.